It's time to share a blast from the past. Hello again, everyone. I'm Eli's dad with Project Eli, where we educate, we lead, and we inspire. And the other day, I came across some correspondence that I had with somebody that I was working with 4 or 5 years ago, before I even started Project Eli as a video concern. I was doing a lot of writing, and I shared some of it with a colleague that I respect a great deal. And it took her a while to respond, but she responded to my writings, and I thought what I would do is, because I just found her correspondence and I read it again and I said, wow, this is good stuff. I thought I would share it with you. So without further ado, here goes. First, let me apologize for taking so long to get back to you. Everyone has drama and a busy life, and I won't bore you with mine. I did want to make sure I sent you some feedback before the end of the year at the very least. I think your overall message is great. I think being an effective leader comes naturally to some people. People either have the personality to do so, or they don't. I don't think they can be taught certain aspects of leadership, but some people just won't get the whole concept. I love that you point out the fact that leadership and management are not synonymous. Too many managers think it is. They feel that because they have the title, they are leaders. Leaders come in all shapes and sizes. Not all managers are leaders, and not all leaders are managers. You often bring up the fact that people you spend the most time with tend to affect the way you act. And this is not always a good thing. I have two personal examples of this, one bad and one good. There's a woman I know with whom I used to be very close. She was a bridesmaid at my wedding. I've known her since 6th grade. She's had a very rough life, but she's also had a lot of opportunities come her way that she turned down. As we grew older, she became very cynical. Now, I'm not one of those people who sees everything through rose-colored glasses, but I do try to see more positive than negative. I felt myself being so drained by her negativity, especially when that negativity was towards other people. Come to find out, she was just as negative about me as she was about all those other people. She definitely did not think before she talked. This made it easier for me to cut my ties with her. And once I did, I felt such a great sense of relief. It's sad, but it would have been even sadder to stay close with someone who was trapped in misery and not willing to change. We see that a lot in the workplace too. Many people are stuck. My good example is my husband. He taught me to fix my problems instead of complain about them. He taught me to love myself and the progress I make in whatever I do. I won't get all mushy, but he definitely taught me to appreciate progress. He's a bodybuilder, so he is all about progress and discipline and having a vision. I'm very type A, and I like to see results. I don't stop trying until I get those results. I used to get upset when I didn't see instant results or if something didn't go exactly as I planned. Now I'm happy with seeing progress. This is something I try to instill in my staff too. Big projects, big improvements aren't going to be completed overnight. However, if we make progress with a project, that is success in my eyes. We can't boost our statistics 10% in a month, but if they go up 1%, that's fantastic. Baby steps. Now you talk about visions and creations and passion. Check out What Do You Do with an Idea by Kobi Yamada. It's a children's picture book with an amazing message. An idea starts out small, but it grows with you. It stays with you. You might not know exactly what it is at first, but you nurture it until it comes to fruition. When it comes to fruition, it is magical. I love this book so much, I bought a copy for my niece. And she's only 4 months old, but I'm starting her early. I want her to know that no matter how small an idea or a belief is, she should never give up on it, but she should remember to learn along the way. Also, regarding visions, I wanted to note that people cannot be told what their vision is. My staff and I are all working towards a common goal, but we each have different versions of how to reach that goal. When we work together, all of those visions and versions work together. This makes our progress that much more powerful. Now, in your fourth letter, you talk about the consequences of allowing a series of errors to remain unchecked. This sounds pretty familiar, and I'll just leave it at that. I enjoyed the PESOS acronym. I try to follow this system, especially the S equals show. And PESOS, I'm stepping away from the letter for a moment, is a way to train people: prepare, educate, show, observe, supervise, which I have talked about in other videos. Let's get back to the letter. I'm a firm believer of learning by example. I never ask my staff to do anything that I wouldn't or haven't done myself. This is the only way I know it's doable. If we venture into something totally new, then I stand right there with them and we learn it together. I am also not above learning from them. I learn a lot from my staff. One thing I do need to work on as a leader is being more of a good finder. I appreciate the hard work and successes of my staff, but I don't always let them know my appreciation. That is one of my faults, and improving that is a personal goal of mine. I think by improving this, the morale of my staff will improve too. I'm seeing in a few of my staff a lack of wanting to change, a lack of wanting to do more, to do better. Whenever I see something like this, I always look at myself first. What did I do that could have made them this way? What can I do to help them improve? Now, this doesn't always work. Sometimes things are inevitable. However, if I can do something to help, at the very least in a tiny way, then I'll do it. I will start by being a good finder. Now, I agree with most of what you say. I do want to point out again that not everyone is capable of being a leader, no matter how much they know about leadership. Some people just don't have the ability to think in a way that is necessary to lead. Some people cannot differentiate manage from lead or direct from lead. Also, not everyone can be led. I'm not saying I'm a great leader, but I do feel that I'm doing a decent job. There's always room for improvement. I will be the first one to admit that. A lot of what I preach or practice is common sense to me. Treat others the way you want to be treated. Now, I've had superiors that were good leaders, and I've had superiors that were bad leaders. I've always kind of led myself, which can be both good and bad, but I think I turned out okay. Thank you for sharing these thoughts with me. I really appreciate it. Have a great holiday. And that is the end of her letter. And it made a number of different points that I've made over the course of, I don't know, about 200 or 250 videos. But I had worked with her in terms of submitting things that I had written. And I was originally going to just submit written things just for Eli, and then I was motivated to get onto this channel. So I want to thank her very much for the feedback, which came 4 years ago. So, like we say, philosophies and principles remain the same, technology changes. And because we will never end a meeting on a philosophical note, let's all get out there and charge! I'm Eli's dad.